Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is October the 31st, or Halloween, if you celebrate that. We have cup games. I think it's 8 cup games in the NBA for today, so we'll go through those. And we'll go through the cup games, man. That's what we'll do. Real quick, as far as yesterday goes, one play for me. I ended up riding with the Warriors in the third quarter specifically, and this is how terrible the NBA has been treating me to start. I take the Warriors. I knew that Giannis got ruled out, but I wasn't going to take the Warriors after Giannis got ruled out. That don't make no sense at all. But when the Bucks come out and outscore them by 9 in the first quarter, I'm thinking to myself, okay, the Warriors will eventually get right. They have won every third quarter. They were plus 43 in net rating in the fourth quarter, highest by far in the NBA. And they wet the bed. They end up losing the third quarter by 27-26. So only play that I end up going official with yesterday. Only thing that I made. Other thoughts don't really matter anyway. But I would have been wrong going on Charlotte. But I wasn't going to play Charlotte because I knew Orlando was eventually going to get right. And then really just wanted to stay away from the Wizards. I thought that game could potentially go under. It went over, so I stayed away from that. I dodged a couple bullets yesterday. Miami and San Antonio, I wasn't going to talk about liking Miami yesterday. I wasn't going to bet them without Norm Powell. So they would have pushed on the +6, which is what it would end up going to, which is what the line I would have got. So those are the quick thoughts from yesterday. As far as today goes, let's jump into it. So Jaxon, let's see. Jaxon liked LaMelo Ball over his 7.5 assists yesterday, and he finished with 13. So winner for Jaxon yesterday. Just one, I guess you could say 1-0-1 because the Giannis look would have been a push. So LaMelo killed this assist line yesterday. Could go with 7 rebounds and 13 points. They still only ended up with 107 points though, which is interesting. Second half, they just really slowed down. But anyway, neither here nor there. Today, the look for Jaxon, see if Jaxon can stay hot, is on John Collins again. Jaxon loves John Collins over his 5.5 boards. On DraftKings, it says it's a little juice, but it says Collins has hit the over in 100% of his games so far this season, 4 out of 4. This trend holds true to his last 5 games and remains strong over a larger sample size, hitting the over in 85% of his last 20 games. Does get a pretty good matchup against the Pelicans today. It says the season average is 6.5, which is comfortably above the line of 5.5, demonstrating consistent production. Over the last 5 contests, Collins has averaged 6.5 rebounds, showing he is maintaining this level of production. The Pelicans ranked 24th in the league in defending the power forward position for rebounds. All right, so I'm not going to read all the rest of it, but yeah, John Collins over his boards. The second look is Mikal Bridges over his 7.5 rebounds and assists. Okay, so this one says Mikal Bridges, now with the Knicks, has seen his usage and production skyrocket, making his combined assists plus rebounds line at 7.5 a good look. That's too low based on current output. So he's over in it looks like all 4 games this season. He's over in his last 5 games. The season average for combined assists plus rebounds is a massive 11.25, which is 3.75 above the current line. This is a huge gap between the line and his actual production. Long-term trend, looking back further, over his last he's over 80% of his last 20 games, showing his elevated production not just a flash in the pan. And then on the road, while playing away from home this season, Bridges has been even better, averaging 13 rebounds and assists in the 2 games, hitting the over in both of those games. So those are 2 looks for Jaxon today. Mikal Bridges, I like this Mikal Bridges one, actually. Over his 7.5 rebounds and assists against the Bulls today, and then John Collins over his 5.5 boards. As always, the link is in the description if you guys want to check Jaxon out. All right, so let's jump into it for today. I don't think I even went through any comments, but real quick, I guess we can go back to the comments. What up, Jay? Appreciate you for tapping in. He's reminding people hit the like button. It does help out the algorithm in the show. Appreciate that. Ryan Rollins happens last night, man. He I don't know. If you're the Warriors, man, I know a couple of these games are gonna happen every single season, but you can't lose to the Bucks, though. You can't lose to the Bucks. But I digress, man. I don't even want to talk about yesterday. What's up, Steven? This is top of the morning. Sixers beat the Celtics again today. You thinking? What's up, Justin? What up? Help a hand says late, but I'm here, gang. Let's walk into the weekend with some bangers. I need it. What's up, Tariq? What's up, Chris? I took a couple live shots. I went 1 and 2. The Ravens were good to me though. Good day overall. Yeah, Ravens got the job done last night. Prolific says, good morning, Chris. I've been falling back, waiting for more data. I kind of feel like I haven't been playing a lot of plays, but the ones I've been playing have been, it feels like layups, right? You take Atlanta and Brooklyn over the total, and then Trae Young gets ruled out. Like you take the Cleveland Cavaliers to go into Boston and get a win, and they absolutely get manhandled. And then last night, Golden State third quarter has been a thing, and the looks have not been cashing so far. It's a super long season, but I am starting to get just a tad bit frustrated. What's up, Tyler? Says, good morning, Chris. Ryan Rollins, 2+3s was free yesterday. Let's have a day today. The Wiz says, hope everyone is doing great. Appreciate that, bro. He says, Warriors playing down the competition, and the Spurs had me sweating for that cover. Yeah. No Powell in yesterday. I think San Antonio may not potentially win that game, but they had a great third quarter. They slowed the pace down, held the Heat to 14 points in the third quarter. They played really, really good in the third. The Heat just couldn't make a shot either. Dom says Warriors smash by tomorrow against Indy. I agree with that, especially with Indy playing today, which we'll talk about that. Jimmy says I only missed LaMelo threes and Derek White touchdown. LaMelo is just missing yesterday. I was trying to show my son the LaMelo like a little celly. You know how you do the little thing with his arm. I was like, oh, if he hit a three, like he'll celebrate. And every time he chucked one up, just bricks. And he was trying to see the celebration. He was like, Dad, why he's not doing the celebration? I'm like, is he ain't making no shots? So yeah, I can understand that, Jimmy. Justin says he got with the Bucks plus 7.5 as soon as Giannis got ruled out. If you know, when stars get ruled out last minute, it's ATM, and that's a fact. That is a fact. It's crazy to think that, but that is a fact. At least first half, and I thought about first half Bucks, but I was like, no, I like Warriors third quarter better. What's up, Pepe? Appreciate you for tapping in. All right, let's jump into it for today, man. We got a lot of games on the board. I'm gonna go through most of them, not everyone. All right, first one up. Atlanta Hawks will be in Indiana today. So first thing we got to take into consideration is Trae Young. He was kind of like he was somebody on his team. I can't remember exactly who it was, but they fell into him and kind of knocked him backwards and messed up his leg a little bit. I think he was, I don't know what the results were, but I did see that he was supposed to have an MRI yesterday. He's been ruled out for this game, though. Hopefully it's not anything too long-term. But Trae Young will not be playing today. On the Pacers side of things, of course, they got a laundry list of injuries as always. No Obi Toppin, no Andrew Nembhard, no TJ McConnell, no Benedict Mathurin. Peter is still listed as questionable. Furphy's listed as questionable. So, Atlanta -2.5, right? On the road. Absolutely not. Not for my money, man. Atlanta has not played enough defense for me to want to lay points with them. They were just in Brooklyn, of course. They didn't cover that game. This is their third straight road game. They only 1-4 against the spread this season. And I think the Pacers, I talked about this. Me and Downs was actually texting about this the other day. The Pacers are not bad as their record is. They are 0-4 straight up, but they have been right there tooth and nail with a lot of teams. They missed the game winning 3-point against Dallas the other night. While they are 0-4, they're 3-1 against the spread. This is their first game back home after a 3-game road trip. You typically don't like that too much, and they do have the Warriors on deck tomorrow, like Dom's already mentioned in the comment section. Atlanta has covered all three. Going back to last season, they won 2 of the 3. If I'm playing this game, there's a couple different ways to look. First of all, I don't agree with the total going up. The Indiana Pacers have proven to, with all these players that they're missing, they're playing unders. And we just saw the Atlanta Hawks go under against the Brooklyn Nets in their most recent game as well with a super high total. I think it was like 237.5. So this one has been bet up from 229.5 up to 232. I don't agree with that. I think if I'm playing the game, I'm playing under. Specifically, an Atlanta team total under. Without Trae Young on the floor last year, their offense significantly. I mean, this is one of the better teams as far as turning the ball over. They don't turn the ball over that often. Trae Young, of course, averages a ton of assists. I think all of those things, and I think they're gonna play a little bit slower as well. The Pacers, I don't think is gonna try to play this game super fast. I think Indiana's been right there on the doorstep of getting a win. This is a cup game. I understand. You don't really want to bet too many unders, but I think if I'm betting this game, I'm looking at the Pacers to come in here and be able to slow this Atlanta team down. Under 117.5 is the Atlanta team total. Looks like it's consensus, and that's what I like the most. Atlanta team total under 116.5. As far as player props go, I'd be remiss without mentioning Jalen Johnson. I think you got to look at Jalen in this game. Without Trae Young on the floor, he's probably going to be not the primary ball handler, but primary facilitator of the offense. I do think so. Him and Luke Kennard, of course, will get a couple more minutes as well. Real quick on Jalen Johnson. Yesterday I wrote in my notes because I figured Trae Young probably wasn't going to play. But in my notes, I wrote Jalen Johnson points, rebounds, and assists over. I'm not sure if it'll be points, rebounds, and assists over, or if you just want to look towards his assists to go over without Trae Young being there. So real quick, if we go over to Outlier, minimize me. We look at Jalen Johnson. His assist prop is 5.5. This is up. I think last game it was 3.5. But I think he goes over this line. You can see he has been under recently. If we go back to last season, this season. We go back to last season. We can filter this to games played, games without Trae Young. 8 and 10 in the 2 games that he played without Trae Young last season against Boston and against Memphis. So he cleared the line. Both games. I do think that he can get 6 assists, but I do think that Atlanta team total goes under today. So those are my 2 thoughts on this game: Atlanta team total under, and a look towards Jalen Johnson over his 5.5 assists. I may have to start playing player props because Sai's been crushing me so far. All right, that's my thoughts. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Thunder, all quarters, money line didn't hit. Missed third quarter by 3. NBA Cup action and ready. Let's get it. This money out with that. Reese Shea points for me. If the Pacers keep up the pace, I love the transition buckets. I don't think that they'll play super fast in this game. I looked at the numbers. I didn't write it down and put it in my notes though, but I'll give you guys those numbers real quick. All right. So, and then got to keep it moving. Can't get stuck on one game too long. All right. So Atlanta is 13th in pace. So they're not playing super fast. And the Indiana Pacers are 12th in pace. At home, they are 15th in pace. At home, they are 18th in defensive rating. They got a defensive rating of 115.7. Yeah, I still think the Pacers defense comes to play in this game. Yeah, I think about that, Justin. I do think about that. It's still Atlanta team total under for me or nothing. Pacers are due for 1. I agree. I kind of want the Pacers plus the point. I'm not playing with Atlanta. That's the thing I'm not doing. Tyler says I took Nickeil Alexander-Walker over 22.5 when I seen the trade news. That I can understand that. Pacers still finding ways to cover. They are 0-4. Market pricing this total like it's the Hawks versus Pacers from last year. And I agree. That's why I like Atlanta team total under. It's no Trae Young. The Pacers are missing damn near a whole starting 5, man. 15 of the last 18 between these 2 teams are going over. We don't got the same personnel in this one, though, Justin, in my opinion. Plus 116 pick. Love it, Chris. What is that? Helping hands. Let me know. 0-4 Siakam points over. Wills this team to a win. Here, I could see it, but it wouldn't surprise me that much. Atlanta by far has the much better talent. And I think the defense will be better as well without Trae Young out there. But I'm not laying with them on the road. 4-2 without Trae Young last year. Atlanta might be so many paces missing. That's true. Do it the game what you want, man. If I'm betting, I'm taking Atlanta team total under. All right, next one up is the Celtics and the 76ers. Game will be played in Philly tonight. Real quick on the injury report. Let's see. I know Paul George is still listed as out. No Dominique Barlow as well. And then no Jared McCain, but he is supposed to be back, I think, pretty soon. Only Jason Tatum is on the injury report for Boston, of course. So Boston 2-3 against the spread so far after beating Cleveland the other night, taking my money. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. Tomorrow, I think I agree with the money coming in on Boston here. I didn't bet Boston, but this line opened with Philly laying 4.5. It's down to 1.5 now. And that's with Embiid playing all the good stuff. Boston looked really, really good in that last game. Quick revenge for them as well. They lost on opening night at home when they were hosting this Philadelphia team. VJ Edgecombe went crazy in that game. Tyrese Maxey's damn near put up 40 in every game so far this season as well. But Boston, I'm still not fading Philly. That's what I'm not going to do. When I look at the Philadelphia backcourt with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and I see how good Kelly Oubre is playing and Quentin Grimes, They're damn near like a little mini version of Boston as far as like just wanting to shoot threes and, playing with pace, getting up and down the court. I'm still not a big on Peyton Pritchard being out there to be able to stop anybody on defense. If he's missing his threes, I think he's a liability on the defensive end as well. So I don't necessarily want to fade Philly. I would probably be looking to back Boston. I will be fading Boston tomorrow. Boston will be in a terrible spot tomorrow. As far as rest advantage, I will be on Houston tomorrow. Just giving you guys a heads up. I will be looking at Houston tomorrow. But what I wrote in my notes, Philly, perfect 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. They do have a one-day rest advantage in this spot. But then again, like I said, Boston with the quick revenge. I would be looking at maybe some Jaylen Brown props in this game as well. I think he probably goes over today and under tomorrow against Houston. But yeah, those are the ways that I would look to play this game. I think if I had to play, first of all, you're getting a terrible number now if you want Boston because you could have got them plus 4.5, but it's still 2.5 out there. I don't know if I really want to fade Philly though. Philly has looked really, really good, and they've just found a way, no matter who they've played so far, to get the job done. So yeah, no real strong take in my opinion. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Tariq going back to that last game, so I can only look at Siakam to have a monster game. I think the 76ers get him again, Chosen One says. Philly on Friday night, better turn up. Bet at your own risk. What's good, Chris? What's good, chat? I'm taking VJ the rookie over his rebounds and assists at 9.5. He's 4-0 currently, and Boston has it yet to stop players at his position from going over. Okay. Chosen says 76ers first half. I think they're undefeated in the first half. I could be wrong. 76ers have come out the gate strong, though. They look really, really good. Boston's also come out the gate strong. This could be one where I kind of agree with the total going up, too. This could be one where you see a first half go over just based on both of these offenses. I feel like both offenses play super fast. They get up and down the floor. They've been really, really good to the over early in the game. Matter of fact, let me see if I can look at that. Go over to the Money Baller real quick. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check out Money Baller. First half totals. I'm not going to pull this up on the screen just for time purposes, but first half total so far in the NBA. Let's see. Let's see. Boston is 3-2 to the over in the first half. Philly's 3-1 to the first half total over. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That does make sense to me. Okay. All right. Maybe a Celtic spot. 76 is 2-0 first half at home. Maxie's balling says he goes over. Henry says I can see Boston winning. Money pouring in on them versus Houston, and we take Houston tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with that, Henry. I do agree with that. That was what I was thinking when I was looking at this game yesterday, but I didn't bet it. All right, next one up, Raptors and the Cavs. Raptors will be on the road in Cleveland today. This one, the injury report just kind of throws a wrench at everything, man, because Jakob Poeltl's out. I don't want Toronto. I'm not touching Toronto until Jakob Poeltl comes back. I just don't agree. I don't think that they have the necessary depth at the center position, especially when you got Quickly out there who's a cone on defense. We just seen Toronto, absolutely give it up. They've given up 139 to in 2 of their last 3 games. They gave up 121 to the San Antonio Spurs, 122 to Milwaukee, and this has led to them being 4-1 to the over so far this season. Toronto only won that first game against Atlanta, and they covered that game. That was an open night. They've since gone 0-4 straight up and against the spread, and now they don't have Jakob Poeltl. I still don't want anything to do with them. Cleveland on the other side, just 1-4 against the spread. They most recently got smoked by Boston. Third straight home game for them. I'm sorry, this is not their third straight home game because they were just in Boston. Third straight road game for them is what I meant to say, and they've played in 3 straight unders Cleveland has. So. Donovan Mitchell is listed as questionable. Jared Allen is listed as questionable. There's still no Strus. There's still no Garland. Sam Merrill is also out for the second straight game. It's a tough game, man. I kind of feel like Cleveland should, want to come out here and play super hard. But I would know if Donovan Mitchell's in. I agree with his total going up. Open 234.5 is up to 239. I think we see 240 points between these two teams today. Toronto hasn't stopped anybody, but they have been able to keep pace. And Cleveland absolutely getting dominated on the boards. They should be able to win the boards today against the Toronto team that's without their best rebounder, Jakob Poeltl. So we shall see. I'm not laying as big of a number with Cleveland right now, though. I feel like they gotta prove it to me before Even though Toronto's been bad, they got to prove it to me before I want to lay this big of a number with them. So I guess by default, I would be looking at taking the points, especially with Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell potentially being questionable. And Donovan Mitchell's dealing with a hamstring injury where he scored, 0 points in the second half last game after hitting all those threes in the first half. It was absolutely atrocious, man. All right. Let's see. I don't really see any comments there. Let's go to the next game, which is the Knicks and the Bulls. So we look at the injury report here. Karl-Anthony Towns listed as questionable. Yabusele listed as probable. And then Mitchell Robinson upgraded to questionable. I think Mitchell Robinson's missed the last 2 games for the Knickerbockers. Listed as questionable Friday with the ankle injury. So he was a full participant in practice yesterday. And then on the other side of things, we have Zach Collins and Kobe White, who still remain out. So the Knicks have played 4 games. They played 2 really good games at home, where they won and covered the spread in both. Then they played 2 road games where they looked pretty terrible. 0-2 straight up and against the spread on the road. Lost to the Miami Heat in their first one, and then they lost to the Bucks in that second one. So they are coming off back-to-back losses. This is their 3rd straight road game. And then on the other side, you got Chicago, perfect 4-0 straight up and against the spread. They've won their last 2 games with their offense. They scored 126 and 128. That was against the Kings, and who else did they play before they played the Kings? I can't remember who they played before they played the Kings, but I knew that they were going to be able to run it up against the Kings, and they did. And their first 2 games, they actually won with their defense. They held Orlando, I think it was like 98 points, and then Detroit scored like 113, I think it was, 114, but that game did stay under the total. This is the first of a little mini series. These 2 teams do play again. I think the next game is on Sunday. It's not tomorrow. I think it's on Sunday or Monday. So Mitchell Robinson plays. That's significant advantage on the rebounding front for the New York Knicks. I still don't want to fade the Bulls. Like, the number has gone up in favor of New York. The money has come in on New York. This line opened with the Bulls getting 2.5 points, and it's since moved to 4.5, which is what you guys see on the screen. I don't necessarily want to fade the Bulls. Not at the crib, not as a dog. This is, in my opinion, their role. Not to say they're going to cover every single game, but I kind of want to see what Mitchell Robinson looks like in this offense. Karl-Anthony Towns hasn't looked like the version of himself. He's still trying to be integrated into this new offense that Mike Brown has brought over as well. I don't know. I probably will bet the opposite of whatever happens tonight in the next game, but this is probably a big game that I just watch, honestly. I think if Mitchell Robinson comes back and they dominate this game, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But if the Bulls win this game outright, then I'll be looking to take the Knicks in the next one. And that's just how I think about this game specifically. Surprisingly enough, when I was looking at the numbers yesterday, the Bulls have been – this is crazy to think. The Bulls have been the best 3-point defense in the NBA. That automatically made me want to think, like, all right, I need Mikal Bridges under his threes. I need Karl-Anthony Towns under his threes, or Jalen Brunson. Somebody I need to take under their 3-point prop, just because the Knicks, not the Knicks, just because the Chicago Bulls have defended the 3-point line so well. It's kind of crazy because it don't always reflect in their defensive numbers, but they are 4th in defensive rating. The Bulls are 5th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They're giving up the 2nd fewest offensive rebounds. And real quick, if we put some numbers for the Knicks side of things, they are 5th in offensive rebounds. So they, try to clean up the glass, 4th in offensive rebounding rate in the half court, but not really scoring a lot. The Knicks are not scoring a lot in the half court. Crazy to think the Bulls are holding teams to 26% from the 3-point line, though. That's just mind-boggling to me. They're number 1 against the corner 3, the above the break 3, overall 3, you name it. I don't know, man. I guess I'll be taking the points with the Bulls at the crib. I don't really want to bet against them. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. And I didn't really look into too many player props here either. Cat playing Knicks for sure, the Wiz says. Dom says he got in with Knicks -3.5. He says, screw the Bulls. Bulls here for chosen one. No Raptors for Tariq. Bulls +4.5 for Justin. Think it'd be Bulls for me, man. Think it would be Bulls. Yeah, this is true, man. He did all that scored in the 4th quarter. Couldn't miss. I thought Donovan Mitchell was going for 100. He messed around, not even scored no more. Welcome to the NBA, man. Welcome to the NBA. What's up? Adam says, what's up, Chris? Have a blessed day and plenty of treats on Halloween. Yeah, for sure. Bulls had the Knicks number last season. I don't know what the injury report. Knicks a little hot, but time to cool off. Can't Stop says, I'm not betting on the Knicks until Karl-Anthony Towns gets his act together. Bulls best against the three-point shot, but second worst against the center. Knicks not stopping Giddey, 20 points plus 104 on DraftKings. Will have 15 by halftime. Hingy says, with all these cup games, do they have different rotation minutes? How was it last year? Tread lightly. Books know today is payday for us and won our checks. I don't think the rotations will be any different at all. I really, really don't. Tyler says he likes Cat points plus rebounds at 33.5. His points plus rebounds last 8 versus Vucevic. God, him going crazy. Okay. Bulls allowed the third most to the center position, second most threes to the center position. My mind tells me Bulls plus 4.5. My heart tells me Knicks minus 1.5. Take both and hope for a middle. That 4 and what is it? That 1.5 gone though. Oh man. No Kobe White. I'm on the Knicks. Jimmy says Kobe White has not played in any of the games so far, and they're still 4-0, straight up and against the spread. No Kobe White, no problem so far. All right, next one up. Lakers and Grizzlies. Line has come down to 2. This is an interesting one. So these lines, I told you guys yesterday on the show, these lines was already out. The Memphis Grizzlies was laying 5.5. This total was 233.5 yesterday. The big thing that's driven this game, I thought it should come down anyway, but because I can't lay points with the Grizzlies right now, not 6 anyway. But Luka actually got upgraded to questionable yesterday. I kind of think they pump faking us with this. I don't think Luka is going to play. I mentioned this in the last game, but Coach JJ Redick said that he expected him to come back in the next few games. I don't think it's necessarily going to be the first game. Since he said that. So we'll see. Luka is listed as questionable. If he doesn't play, of course, this line will jump back in favor of Memphis with it coming down from the 5.5 down to, you can get a 1.5 right now on BetMGM if you like the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not playing the Grizzlies. But outside of Luka, you also got Marcus Smart listed as questionable. Still no Braun, still no Kleber, still no Gabe Vincent as well. And on the Grizzlies side, they still have a slew of injuries as well. No Brandon Clark, no Zach Edey, no Ty Jerome, no Scottie Pippen Jr. The Lakers are they've looked good in both of their road games. I know nobody wanted to touch them, including myself, in that last game in Minnesota without Luka and without LeBron. And Austin Reeves goes in there, hits a game winner. I would be remiss not to go look at Austin Reeves props again, but I don't really want him as much if Luka, of course, returns, and that just is 1 + 1 = 2. Lakers have looked good on the road. They've won both games so far this season, straight up and against the spread. Memphis is 2-1 at home. This is their first game back home after a brief little 2-game road trip. They did go into Phoenix and win that game outright by 1 point the other day. And it's a one-off home game for them. They got to travel. They get right back on the road after this game to go to Toronto. So that could be a Toronto spot with the travel that Memphis has had recently to start the season and them being shorthanded. So that's something to note for Sunday's game. The Lakers did win the last 3 meetings against Memphis. They've covered the last 2. Of course, the roster was a little bit different. I just don't think I just can't lay points with Memphis right now. Like, even with them laying points in Phoenix the other day, Phoenix was significantly shorthanded. They didn't even cover that spread. I think they were laying 2 and they ended up winning the game by 1. They've also been really, really bad defensively. The only game that they played well defensively actually came against the injured Pacers team. And this was, after they gave up 146 against the Miami Heat the night before. They held the Indiana Pacers to 103, but they gave up 113 to the Phoenix Suns. They gave up 131 to Golden State. They gave up, I mentioned, the 146 to the Miami Heat. New Orleans got 122, and that was in a game in Memphis. So I think the Lakers should be able to score. The problem is with Luka potentially being back, this total has gone up, in my opinion, to about where it should be. And I've already been on the wrong side of one of these 237.5, 238 totals in the NBA. We're starting to see them come back down and number a little bit. Charlotte and Orlando went under yesterday. The Miami Heat game against the San Antonio Spurs went under as well. So we are starting to see some of these hot totals come down and not get to those, super high numbers. They're either landing 250 or they're landing, 220, and the totals are 238.5. So it kind of scares me a little bit. I think this is a game where you wait on the Luka news. If Luka plays, I think the Lakers can come in here and beat the Grizzlies outright. I do think that. We'll see how he looks. We shall see how he looks. We'll see if he actually plays too. But if you could have got Lakers plus 5.5 yesterday, I do think that was the right side. I didn't get it. Wish I would have bet it, but wanted to do a little bit digging, and before I knew it, boom, it was gone. So that's my thought process on this one. Let's see. Lakers here. I gotta get against the Grizzlies. Luka is playing, Jimmy says. Even without Luka, we've been on fire. His props are listed on FanDuel. That don't mean that he's playing just because his props was listed. Giannis props was listed on FanDuel yesterday too. He ended up not playing at the last minute. Tyler says, I doubt Luka is going to play. Number 12 going to cook us again. Yeah, Ja is going to go crazy. We don't have anybody to stop Ja. I said Ja points in the last game against Phoenix. I probably should have bet him. He, of course, hit that game winner. Reeves is balling. They pump faking with Luka. I think that they want all the money to come in on the Lakers, and then Grizzlies do win this game outright. And I could be wrong, but we shall see. It wouldn't surprise me, though. Jay says Ja over his 25.5 points. He is due. Luka wants to get back in, or he'll gain the weight back. I like the over, though. Yeah, I think the total is going up a little bit too much for me. It's moved 7 points already. Not 7, I'm sorry. It's moved 4 points already. 233.5 at open, 237.5 right now is what I'm looking at. Lakers money line, Memphis don't play no defense. I think they can win this game, though. Justin likes over, like rebounds and assists for Reeves with or without Luka. Okay. All right, next one up we have is no more. It's like, nah, there are more. I just didn't do graphics for all the rest. So the other three I want to go through really quickly. Denver, Portland. Open Portland getting 4.5 points at home. Real quick injury report for them. Cam Johnson listed as probable. Jamal Murray is listed as questionable, and that is significant. Left calf tightness, that is significant. If Jamal Murray don't play, a lot of people not gonna like this. I'll probably be looking towards Portland. Portland has looked really, really good this season, and for whatever reason, they played against this Denver team. They played Denver really, really strong. I think you could poke holes in Denver's strength of schedule. Not that Denver isn't good. Denver is great. Denver's 3-1, both straight up and against the spread. The only they don't have a look ahead either. When I was looking into the matchup yesterday, the only loss, of course, came against Golden State when they lost the game and didn't cover. Portland is also 4-1 against the spread this season so far, though. They just beat my Lakers. They just beat the Utah Jazz in the back-to-back. They covered all 3 of those games on the road because they got the cover against the Clippers as well. And 4 of their 5 games have actually gone up and over the total. Portland played Denver really, really well last season. Not just covered, but they actually won 2 out of 4 games last season. All 4 of the games went over between these two teams last season. And the totals were 8-2 to the over in the last 10 games that these teams have played against. So I like what I'm seeing from Portland. If Jamal Murray is questionable, I do think that, looking at, Jokic triple-double, which I think he's hit one every single game so far, is absolutely in play for this game as well. Denver is they're supposed to be better defensively, but offensively they've looked really, really good. And I think that's why this total continues to go up. This total actually opened at 235.5 yesterday. And think about this. The total opened 235.5. Jamal Murray is listed as questionable, and it's still going up. So somebody's thinking that Jamal Murray is going to be in to push this total up 5 more points. Even since I started the show, this was at 239 when I looked earlier. Now I see 240.5. So it's going up even over the last 30 minutes, man. So take with that information, do what you want. Those are my quick thoughts on Denver and Portland. If Jamal Murray doesn't play, I will be looking at Portland plus the points at the crib, though. Maybe even in the first half, because I think that they could run out of gas, and they've been really, really good in the first half. So that's my thought process on that game. Next game up, Utah-Phoenix, open 4.5 for the Phoenix Suns. I'm not sure how. And it's come down to 3. So we look at the injury report, and it does reflects, I think, a few more injuries for the Phoenix Suns rather than the Utah Jazz. So for the Utah Jazz, they actually have Isaiah Collier listed as questionable. He hasn't played. I don't think he's played in the game yet. Gorgeous knee and continues to be out. Then on the Phoenix side of things, you mentioned Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. I know it's quick revenge for the Phoenix Suns because they did just lose. These two teams played on Monday. Utah won by 4 in overtime as a 2-point home favorite. That game flew over the total of 229.5, even in regulation. This total has actually gone up as well. Open 230.5 yesterday is what I wrote down. All the way up to 237.5. And you got to agree with that, right? Utah is not a team that's going to play much defense, but their offenses look really, really good. They're a perfect 4-0 against the spread. And the Phoenix Suns, on the other side of things, 1-3-1 against the spread so far this season. So I know it's a quick revenge spot, but Utah has more talent, in my opinion, in this game. I know you got Devin Booker over there. You got Ryan Dunn and Royce O'Neal and Mark Williams, but I like what I'm seeing from Utah as a collective unit right now. And they just haven't started tanking yet. I think that they will at some point this season, but not right now. They're looking really, really good, man. Utah plus the points in this game or the over. I just mentioned game one flew over the total. Even in regulation, it flew over the total, even way before overtime as well. So this one opened a point higher. If you've been rocking with the show for a while, we know that when two teams play each other and the second total opens higher within even a week time frame, the second one typically goes over as well. And then on a cherry on top was totals are 8-2 to the over in the last 10 games between these two teams. So we don't typically see a lot of defense being played. All right, last game is the New Orleans Pelicans and the Clippers. So injury report here, not even sure how much it matters, but DeJounte Murray is out. Kevon Looney is listed as doubtful. The Pelicans did pick up DeAndre Jordan. Didn't really mean anything. They end up losing that game by, I think, what did they lose by? 34? Yeah, they lost by 34. They're 0-3-1 against the spread so far this season. Jordan Poole was demoted to the bench so they could start, DeAndre Jordan, and they absolutely never showed up in Denver. Willie Green is, it seems like the coach that's on the hot seat the most. He could potentially be the first firing, is what I'm hearing, of any coach in the NBA. I mean, the Pelicans don't even look like they are, I don't know. He might have already lost the locker room. They're just not competing at all. I think they're the worst point spread differential team in the NBA. It's either them or the Wizards. Wizards losing by 17 last night. Might be the Wizards, but Pelicans have absolutely looked terrible, man. The Clippers on the other side of things, though, only 1-3 against the spread so far. They do come in this game with one extra day's rest, and they're coming off an embarrassing 19-point loss as a 2-point favorite in Golden State the other day. Pels have, for whatever reason, played the Clippers really, really tough. I kind of remember this. Zion always has a big game against the Clippers. Pels have actually covered 5 straight. They've in 9 of the last 10, the Pels. And it don't matter if they're on the road or at home. But last season, I vividly remember the Clippers, laying 7.5 points in New Orleans, and they lost that game outright. The Clippers actually lost that game by 7, laying 7.5 points. So I don't know what it is, but the Clippers typically struggle against this Pelicans team. If I'm the Clippers, if I'm the Pelicans, I want to get out and run in this game, make this older version of the Clippers, get back and defend on defense. I'm just not big on the Pelicans to be able to stop anybody, though. So maybe a look towards the Clippers team total to go up and over, especially with it coming down. It's down from 226.5 down to 223.5. I think the Clippers can kind of name the number. I'm just not big on the Pelicans defensively. I've been saying this all season, and I think they gave up, 130 in that last game? They've given up 130 a couple times. So probably a look towards the Clippers team total. I don't really want to lay too many points with the Clippers, but I think the Clippers should be able to score. Maybe just a look towards the over. Maybe the Pelicans turn up on offense a little bit, but Zion not even being on the injury report in this game. So those are my quick thoughts on that game. Let's see what you guys are thinking real quick before we jump off. Brian says, good morning, Chris. Lakers been playing well. Be interesting to see how the chemistry with Luka coming back. I agree. Also interesting to see if there's a little bit of a letdown spot after, Austin Reeves hit that game winner the other day. Who was 12 because they had, I seen that. Jack LaRavia is 12. They better stop playing with my man. Jokic triple-double going to be on my card. Makes a lot of sense. I agree with that, Justin. Nuggets revenge. Nuggets over 239.5. Justin agrees. Very short price with the Nuggets. I actually love this Jokic. Jokic will feast. Klingin not too bad, man. I know Jokic is Jokic, but Klingin he's not too bad. Drew Holiday is getting a win for Portland today. Pacers, Knicks, Denver. Denver owns us. Plug says Nuggets don't play again until the 3rd at home. They should take this. I think the Nuggets may overlook this. That's just my thought. These teams are going to slip up, man. We saw the Warriors slip up last night. You're going to have some spots where you're like, oh, that's an easy one, right? We're not going to take the other team serious, and, something like Ryan Collins is going to happen. So that's how it goes, man. Clippers at the crib is where they're at their best, the way it says. That's why I like the team total over. J-Man, what's up to you, bro? Zion is the only reason I would be hesitant with the big number. I will probably look at the Clippers first half. Malik says, I'm going back to listen, but my Bulls, baby. Yeah, go back and listen to it, Malik. Appreciate you, Lightbearer. Manny says Laravia has been a dog since he was on the Kings. Appreciate the show, Chris. Appreciate you, Manny. Plug says I would agree if Denver doesn't lose. I would agree if Denver didn't lose their last game. They didn't lose their last game. Denver won by 30, 34 against the Pelicans in their last game. Plug. You might got them mixed up with somebody else. All right. Anyway, recap. I like the Atlanta team total under, probably more than I like almost anything else. Boston and Philly, I think, will be an over spot as well, especially with Boston having a game tomorrow against Houston. Ime will be back in Boston tomorrow. So I don't think their defense will be intact, and Philly offenses look really, really good. So, they are coming off that overtime game against the Wizards, but they have I don't think the rest advantage, but they have a day's rest here. Chicago plus the points if I'm betting them. I just kind of want to see it from the Knicks, and plus we need Mitchell Robinson in. If he gets ruled out, I probably will be looking at Chicago for sure. Denver, Portland, I think finds a way to get up and over the number, especially with the way Portland's been playing offense recently. And then the pace that Denver wants to play with in general, that offense is a juggernaut. But I do want Jamal Murray in, and there's no way I can lay points with the Phoenix Suns right now. So Utah by default would be a +3, and I would be playing that as well, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are playing today. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. The resources are all listed in the description. Check Jaxon out, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam for all your sports betting needs in general across all sports. And turn the notification bell on. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. We got 6 games tomorrow, so we'll be back tomorrow, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one.